evening, everybody. Do I got a 10 by 10? Give me a 10 by 10, somebody. Mod, do we have an echo? I think we have an echo. Let me turn that one up and turn this one down. How's that? Is that better? I'm hoping that it's a lot better. Folks, this isn't good. Information coming in from Jerusalem and military news. Right now, rockets and drones hit Iraqi base housing U.S. forces. This just happened. This is the third one in 24 hours. The United States has over 25. Hold on, I got to get rid of the echo. I'm sorry. I got to echo bad. Okay, let's turn that up. Can you hear me good? Now, can you hear me? Give me a 10. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that, folks. The echo drives me crazy. Let me see if I can get it out a little bit. There we go. So the United States has 2,500 troops in Iraqi and 900 more in Syria, and they are on a mission to advise and assist local forces in combating Islamic State. Drones and rockets were targeted at the bases, and the bases did have sounds with inside the bases. They did block off the bases, and folks, this is international forces in western Iraq. Multiple blasts were heard inside the base. Two security sources said the Iraqi military said it closed the area around the base. Man, I got an echo. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. How about is it shit? Sorry about that. I like this program, but it was not clear yet whether the attacks caused casualties or damages, said the sources. So there's a lot coming in right now from overseas. On top of that, this is the third one in 24 hours against U.S. air bases which house U.S. troops in Iraq. U.S. military forces in Iraq were targeted on Wednesday in two separate drone attacks, one causing minor injuries to a small number of troops, even though the U.S. military managed to intercept the armed drone. Now, this should be a wake up call. This is not going to be the same kind of war if it comes to the United States, folks. This is going to be a very tech war. It's going to be drones are going to come in. I mean, Jesus, criminy. And I don't know about y'all, but how in the heck do you combat and fight drones coming into the United States if this occurs? The other thing is last week, Iraqi armed groups aligned with Iran threatened to target U.S. interests with missiles and drones if Washington intervened to support Israel against Hamas in Gaza. We also have a U.S. led international coalition against the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, the ISIL. They have stopped to test fire their M2 machine guns, the MK-19 grenade launchers in the middle Euphrates River Valley. The United States has 2,500 troops, 900 more, and they're supposed to be there to advise and assist local forces in combating the Islamic State. The thing is also, how much munitions do they have of ours? That's a good question because we know what's happened in Ukraine, folks. Where are all those munitions? They have not been able to go in and account for all the munitions that we have given them. And on top of it, from coming in from the Jerusalem Post, if you want things on a daily basis, go to the Jerusalem Post. They are very good at reporting things, and they're very non-biased. They are basically just saying it straightforward. The White House did ask Congress for $106 billion for Israel, and you know they're going to get it. Hamas has released the hostages, a few of them, the daughter and the mother that were hostages, but Old Potato believes Israel shall delay invasion until more are free. The two American Israeli hostages have been released, which is good news. But how many more? How many more do they have? We also have the French military intelligence saying Israel's strike was not behind the Gaza hospital. So there's so much coming in right now, folks. My main thing is that if this occurred with our troops 3 and 24 hours, there is no other way to say it except that we are at war. Everyone has been kind of like, no, it's not happening yet. Folks, war is here. The United States is about to lose many men and women. The United States is getting pulled in every direction. Right now, we have another escalation with China in Taiwan. We have the Ukraine and Russia situation, which is just totally out of control. Lisa CC, the tactical hillbilly. Okay, thank you. Thank you for identifying who you are. Glad you're back. Christine from the land down under. All my members, all my subs, thank you for being here. Folks, I really didn't want to come on tonight. My brother's headed this way, and on top of it, I'm working some late hours. But when I seen three within 24 hours, we need to be on full alert, full tilt here in the United States and around the world because more of these attacks are going to happen. And when they occur, just as a dear friend of mine in the chat told me that something was supposed to pop off tonight, well, it sure did. And I think by tomorrow morning, we're going to see many, many more of these things happening. How many have kids or grandkids or yourself in draft age? I don't honestly know what the draft age is because they're asking military to come back. They're asking folks that have retired, between 30 and 50 years old to come back into the military. And the bad thing is, folks, it used to be that military and war would create jobs, and then afterwards it would create a lucrative economy. I don't believe that's the case. I do not believe that's the case. Yeah. Thank you, Brandy, for reporting that. Mama Freddie, hello. Stepping in it, hello. Yeah. WW2 was up to 45. Well, now they're up into the 50s. And I say shit on that one. Folks, we're going to have to protect our own home front. We know that the Lightseeker reported 18,000 immigrants coming in across the border. And how many have been coming in? We've been talking about it. And there's more and more news coming off of the southern border, but nobody's really discussing it right now. The southern border is wide open. The gates are welded open. And not only that, the Border Patrol was actually caught cutting the fences and giving them high fives and letting them come on in. So, it's going to be right here at our doorsteps. There's no getting past it. And I hope that each and every one of you is prepping. I hope that your head is on a swivel, that you're very cautious and alert of what's happening around you. We have to be at war because we're broke. Well, we're more than broke. Right now, another report came in that the United States, we're printing off so much money, right? And we're in so much debt that the only thing we can touch is the interest. And we're going to be lucky to make the interest payments on the debt. So when you think about that, geez Louise, they're young boys getting paid coming in. Barb, I 120% agree with you. Because if you really think about it, we watched many foreigners, and they were not our Latino brothers and sisters coming across the border. We know that they were of Middle Eastern descent and Chinese descent. And this is literally down to the T. We are waiting for the last chess pieces to be moved. And I think that once our military, more of it, arrives into and close to Israel, we are going to see this go full tilt. And I mean full tilt by a daily, hourly thing where we're going to have red alerts on an hourly basis, not on a daily basis. I hope. Yeah, lots more PTSD. I got it. I got it. How many of you in the chat have been in a military combat or first responder or a bad situation where you got PTSD? Hit a one. Um, yeah, 18 is babies. You're right, Hooga Hooga. No old men and ladies, no kids. Hit a one in the chat if you have PTSD. I'll tell you what, it's hard to deal with. And I think that we're going to see probably triple forward, fold what we're seeing now when they come back. The bad thing is we're going to lose many young men and women. I put out a Heather. Thank you for coming forward with that. I think many people do not realize the drama, the stress when a dramatic situation happens. And folks, if you have PTSD, this is the time to get on point, really, really figure out a way to center. It's so important. When the time comes, let it go full tilt because you're going to need it. I'm going to need it. I appreciate everybody stopping in tonight. This is very brief because I think that all eyes are on Israel, but we also have so many things going on with Ukraine, and we have the things going on with China. We are getting spread to so thin that it is about like it's a rubber band, and as you spread it thinner and thinner, sooner or later it's going to snap. And I believe that once the snap happens, folks, that we will see a nuclear escalation. I do. With everything that's happening, I believe it might not be tomorrow, but very soon it is in their plans to have a nuclear escalation. And Copycat had made a good point earlier on Dragonfly's premiere. If somebody would drop her premiere, this will open your eyes to casualties. She has survived 12 hurricanes and Hurricane Ivan. And I want to say that when we have to, the most important thing you can do is go with your gut and move out. Don't hesitate because that hesitation may cause you and your family's life. And I know from all of us talking over the last 2.5 years, folks, that none of us want to bug out. But sometimes there comes a time and a place that we have to bug out, and then hopefully, God willing, that we can come back. What did Brandy say? I missed it. I missed her point, and somebody said, very good point, Brandy. What'd she say? Where is it? Brandy she has some great points a lot of times. I'm still missing it. I think at this point it's very important that you have your bug out bag, your get home bag in your vehicle, that you have your vehicle topped off, that you have additional water and food. Yeah, exactly, Brandy. Good point. A wet stick bends and a dry stick breaks. A rubber band can only get stretched so thin before it's going to snap. And I believe what's going to end up occurring is so many of these countries are raising their heads up and saying, well, we think you did this. We think you did that. And there's no trust factor even left with our allies, which are becoming very far and few between. And I believe once that BRICS is completely ready to roll, which they're very, very close, I believe they are going to continue to dump the bonds back into the United States until we suffocate and have to eat them. And our dollar will completely crumble. And that's one thing, folks, that you have to remember. Get out of the matrix as much as you can. Uh, exactly, Rick. Prioritize your gear. Grab it. You may not be able to come back. And that's a harsh reality. But I think the big thing is, right? Oh, God, Patriot, no jab. Hell no. Hell no to the Kool-Aid. How many of you in the chat say hell no to the Kool-Aid? Hit hashtag resist, you bitches. No, no, we, no. Let them go get the Kool-Aid. They can get 75 different brands of Kool-Aid, but I'm not doing it. I say a double bird fly because I'm not doing the goddamn Kool-Aid. Hashtag resist, bitches. No, y'all don't fall for the bullshit. Don't fall for the false flags, the psyops. They're coming. And we're going to see something major here in the United States. We're going to see it.
There's no way in hell that we can sidestep the bullshit anymore. But I'll tell you what we can do is we can stand shoulder to shoulder as Americans and we can say kiss our American asses because we have our Second Amendment. And we're gonna rise to the effing occasion and we're not gonna stop. And many women, men, and children may lose their lives, but we're not gonna back down to your bullshit, man. We're gonna do it. And it's coming to that, folks. It's coming. And if you can't see it and you don't feel it, go to Betty Crocker's YouTube class and twiddle your goddamn thumbs and make something. But I'll tell you what, the people that are on this channel right now that are listening, and the ones that are listening in the future, we know it. We feel it in our spirit. How many of you really feel it in your spirit? The shit is here. It's not coming. It's here right now, right now. Today, October 20th, 2023. They're blasting our own military. We are at war. Act accordingly. Head on a swivel. Pull your head out of the black screen. Be safe. May God be with each and every one of us. Until I see you again, my friends, I'm fired up. May each and every one of us do the shit, do the dang things that we need to do. Don't give up and don't give in. God bless you and God bless America because we will not capitulate any longer. We've had enough of your bullshit. Resist. Hashtag resist. In everything you do, folks, stand up shoulder to shoulder. Don't give up and don't give in. God bless you from here in the Ozarks to wherever you're at. Be ready. Be ready is what I can say. I'm telling you from my heart, be ready. Pray it up. Thank God for another day that this mag can be together. But I'll tell you what, this shit's on fire. There's no way to go around it. There's nothing we can do. We can't sit here and cry and boo-hoo about the bullshit. We gotta be doers. Don't be a watcher. Be a gosh dang doer. Because this shit is on fire. And we all know it. And we all feel it. And it is what it is. We have to be on point in everything we do from this point forward. Until I see you again, my friends, God bless. Don't stop. And just keep on going.